Hello, everybody. Welcome to Haiku Friday. It's August 16th, 2024. And let's get going with some haikus. Why not? Let's do it. All right. We have the first one is from Max Q. Oh, first, before I start, you notice I'm not outside. Well, it's a little rainy outside today. I've had a few drops falling on me out there, which is wonderful. We're all very happy about getting a little bit of rain. But with electronic equipment, I don't think I'm going to sit in the rain and do this. Um, and so now you're in my little sunroom. I kind of treat it more like a front porch, even though it's in the backyard. It's got big windows, and I like to lay on the couch here and read. Read. Uh, that's basically um, code talk for sleep because I only get a few pages in and I conk out. But it's what a tangent that was. Um, Here's Max Q's haiku. Busy surviving these damn dog days of August. Oh, for October. Yeah, to me, it feels a little autumnal out there already. It's a little cooler today. It's cooler. It's rainy. Um, the air smells sort of like autumn. So hold on, Max Q. Help is on the way. Now we have one from Bill. And Bill sent a really cool picture of a bike path. Bill lives up in Calgary area, and a bike path by a really beautiful canal. And just I always love Bill sends pictures, and I like it because I think he always really captures the feeling of the photograph. Here's Bill's quiet summer eve in the heart of the city, away from it all. There's places like that in Spokane too. If you're down on the trail system off of High Drive, you could be uh, up in the Selkirks. You could be up on Mount Spokane. It's just as very uh, it's a lot of solitude. All right, thank you, Bill. Here's one from Jenny. Dog days, quiet nights. The best of summer is here. Evening air caress. Notice I kind of went evening air caress. I didn't mean to do that, but yeah, and that I think we're kind of having. There's a theme here that yes, it is these autumnal days, kind of hot in this daytime, cools down at night. It's just lovely. Um, we are heading into a couple of the best months of being in Spokane. I'd say end of August, September, solid on Spokane, beginning of October. Really just a beautiful time here. All right, here's one from Rico-san. Important to some, justice is just a concept, changing with the crowds. Yes, and Rico-san, I hear you. And I've gotten to a bad habit. I don't post much politically on my Facebook thing, but I've weighed in on some other people's as the MAGA cult get in there, and it's like, my God, if you could just separate yourself from this and look at yourself with above and see how you're acting and what you're defending, how crazy it is that you would just do this for this one. You change the standards for one person in the world. Uh, yes, so there is justice, but it is a changing concept for for many. It's crazy, and I've gotten in the bad habit of like laundry listing things to cult members who it will have no effect whatsoever. Yeah, it's a scary time because Trump very well could get beaten and not have a reign of failure again, but and fascism, failing fascism. But these folks are still going to be around. They're still going to be looking to be a part of a cult. If not Trump, they'll be into the QAnon stuff, and they're not going away. They're not going away. These irrational, dangerous people. And I don't know. I don't think there's a way to change their mind. I don't know what you do. I don't know. Anyway, I feel pity for them. I suggest you do the same. Okay. See, I can't help myself. Here's one, and I'll explain it more in the second half where I talk about what's going on. Here's one. Here's mine. Life's end confusion, many intersecting paths, only mapped in dreams. Okay. Well, I'll get to that. But first, I'm going to talk about my wife and I had our 33rd anniversary, and we had a great time up on Mount Spokane. We went huckleberry picking. We came back and ate sushi from a nice restaurant. I have mead that I've bottled, as those of you know now. I'm pretty much a teetotaler anymore, but I do occasionally have the alcoholic beverage, which I did that evening with some of the mead that I made when we first got married. I bottled, I think it was 25 bottles of mead, 24 bottles maybe. And we would drink a bottle each anniversary. Had a little piece of wedding cake in the mead. And then 24 years went past, and all the bottles got done. So I did another. So I think we had to skip a year because I had to let it ferment and bubble up and all that. So we were without mead for a year, I believe, and then we dove back into it. And so now, yeah, we're like on this ninth bottle of a bottle. I don't think I bottled as many bottles this time either. So the mead was really good. It was really good. So it was sparkling like champagne, delicious. But what a great time huckleberry picking, which we did really well. We were going to go backpacking, but this will segue into my next thing. My mom, who broke her arm, went to the hospital because she was in a great deal of pain after she went to the ER. And then, of course, they find more stuff wrong with her at the hospital. And it's been this very confusing time, as lots of conflicting reports on what should be done, what shouldn't be done. Siblings dealing with it in various different ways. In information not really forthcoming about her condition. She was really out of it for a couple of days, and then now she's back to being very rational and thoughtful and alert and oriented. At least yesterday, that was the case. She gets released, goes back to the hospital, gets released, goes back to the hospital. And this time was because of something we asked at the nursing home to check into, not nursing home, the rehab place for her getting ready to have shoulder surgery, which we were kind of a little bit dubious if something had been really resolved, but they didn't want to do the test in the hospital to see if it had been resolved. So they kind of told us it was, but without any proof. And then so we went back because the nursing or the rehab place did the test and it had not been resolved. In fact, it was worse. So anyway, so I don't hold. These are really nice people, nice professionals, actually very good nursing, and I've been very pleased with the doctors. It's just the system, right? And so that's kind of alludes to my life's end confusion, because I think that most people have been through this stuff. There's not a lot of straight ways forward. So that was going on. It was actually Mom's birthday yesterday too. She turned 89. Spent it in the ER, getting ready to get checked back in the hospital. So we're dealing with that, and everybody knows what the kind of lack of sleep and worry and navigating this and still trying to, I think for me, it's like my mom was one of my Sunday school teachers growing up. We call it CCD in Catholicism, but And back then it was pretty straightforward, the stuff you learned. And basically, the bottom line, if you were a kid going through what they call, I think it was continuing Christian development, is what CCD stood for. It was that you were put on this planet to love people, not necessarily to people that you don't love, people that you don't know, love the stranger, love people who are in dire straits. And Jesus had pretty much talked about how you deal with family, and that your family is not necessarily the ones. Well, you do love your family, but you would have to love God and love your neighbor above your family, I would say, is the message. And my mom taught that, and I took that to heart. And so my thing is, well, I feel like at least this part of my life, I've done service oriented things my whole life. My career have been pretty much service oriented for the most part. And now I'm in this thing of providing art and hopefully entertainment for people to help hopefully make their lives better or enjoyable, or enter into a dialogue with them. Who knows? But that's why I do what I do. So it's like, well, how do you nurture that at the same time basically providing comfort for your siblings, which is part of, you got to do that too. So um and your mom, so that's all part of it. But yeah, so I want to stay true to the mission, maybe, I guess. And but at the same time, um be there for close people that I'm related to. So that's going on. So along those lines, I have the art on the wall thing coming up. I have been promoting it. I just need to get out there and hang some art. It's all done. I just need to do like let people know one more time, and then I'll do it. But of course, today's Haiku Friday, so I want the focus to be on that. And then along another thing that I'm doing is I have a poster that I'm selling, which you may or may not be interested in. It's doesn't really fit the whole camera here, I don't think, but yeah, well, it kind of does. And it's thank you, honey. My wife just brought in my to-do list from outdoors, which I've done at work and I've done at home. I just, whether I really do the things on the to-do list or one thing, but they're there, and now it's wet because I forgot it. But my wife brought it in. I love you. Thank you. Um, And so this is the poster that I'm going to be selling. If you're interested, they'll be selling it at the event of the shows. Spokane Shakespeare Society is putting on a play called Mortal Terror. I was in their last play. That was a Shakespearean play, As You Like It. This is actually an interesting play that's based on it's a fictional work that's based on the gunpowder plot and Shakespeare writing Macbeth during the gunpowder plot, which so that inspired me to make some art. They liked it, so they're going to use it on their posters, and I'm letting them use that on their official posters for free. But I thought I would make some posters that people could have for souvenirs, and if you would like them, they're limited. Going to be limited to 50 prints, and so they are signed in the bottom, blah, 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 numbered, signed. And then if you look over here, it's embossed. I have a little embosser right there with my with my logo for my art business, which I'm just not very good at the business end of these things. But if you're interested in for getting one of these, contact me. You know how to do that. You can put it in the notes, message me, however you want. I'll let you know how much they are selling for. They're really going for very cheap because I want people to have these. So let me know. Let me know, and I'll let you know. All right. I have a poppy thief, a guy who's been stealing poppies from the garden. I had a zucchini thief. I had a guy throwing garbage on my art kiosk. I figured out those two mysteries. And the second guy, the guy who's the poppy thief, my neighbor actually got him pulling out poppies out of the garden and throwing them in the back of his car, the whole plant, dirt on the roots and everything. And then so I think it's the same guy. on camera, and my neighbor confronted this guy. Uh, but I caught the same guy on camera clipping the heads off of poppies with a pair of scissors in the middle of the night, 11:30 at night. So if you'd like to check that out, it's on my YouTube channel, and I'll probably put a link to it if I remember on the Facebook page as well. We are doing more work on Pam Kingsley's play Boxes this afternoon or this evening with a read through, so I'm excited about that too. All right. Thank you, everyone. I appreciate it very much. And tune into Haiku Friday next Friday, and then also send me your haikus. Why not? Why not? You know, send those things to me, and I'll read them here online, and we'll do the thing. All right. Bye now.